Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a tool that literally turns confusing data and really tough problems into smart, confident decisions. We're talking about the business report. Now before we jump in, please take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more expert breakdowns just like this one.
So, picture this. You're HR Director Donald Williams. You've got a new hire who is absolutely crushing their sales goals. Fantastic, right? But their tech usage report is throwing up some serious red flags. You're stuck with conflicting data, and making a sound decision feels, well, almost impossible. It's in moments like these, the high-stakes ones, that having a structured approach isn't just a nice-to-have, it is absolutely critical.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you actually cut through all that chaos? When you feel like you're buried under a mountain of data and everyone has a different opinion, how do you find the signal in all that noise and get to some real clarity?
Well, the answer lies in a really powerful, structured tool that was built for this exact challenge, the business report. And look, this isn't just about filling out paperwork. It's a systematic method for objective analysis that helps you solve problems effectively.
So, over the next few minutes, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the why behind reports, then get into the what, the four main types. After that, we'll dissect the how by looking at the anatomy of a formal report, and we'll wrap it all up with a 5-step guide to help you master your own.
All right, let's kick things off with that first step, really understanding the why. Before you can even think about writing a great report, you have to be crystal clear on what it is and exactly what it's supposed to do.
Okay, what's really interesting in this definition are two key words, orderly and objective. Orderly just means it follows a logical path, right? From the problem to the analysis to the solution. And objective, this is huge, means it's built on facts, not feelings. It's all about steering clear of bias to make sure the conclusion you reach is a sound one.
You can think of these characteristics as the DNA of any great report. Its purpose might be to just inform, like a weekly sales update, or it could be to persuade, like a pitch for a new project. But here's the most crucial part. Its quality, its entire value, hinges on accurate data. A beautifully written report that's based on bad information, that isn't just useless, it can be downright dangerous.
So, knowing those core principles, let's shift gears to the what. See, not all reports are created equal. Depending on the job you need to get done, you've got to choose the right tool from the toolbox. Let's explore the four main types.
This chart lays it all out for us really nicely. You've got your periodic reports. Those are your regular check-ins, like weekly sales figures. Then you have proposals, which are all about persuasion. Think pitching for new funding. Policies and procedures, that's basically the internal rulebook. And finally, situational reports are for tackling unique events, like figuring out why sales suddenly took a nosedive. The one you choose really depends on your goal. Are you reporting on the past, proposing a future, standardizing the present, or investigating a problem?
Okay, so now we know the different types of reports, let's get into the how. When you've got to build a more complex, formal report, what are the essential building blocks? And by the way, if you're finding this detailed analysis helpful, a quick like and subscription really helps us create more in-depth learning resources like this.
I want you to think of these as the bookends of your report. On the one hand, you have the preliminary parts, like the title page and executive summary, that set the stage. And on the other end, you have the addenda, things like an appendix, which provide all the supporting details without cluttering up the main story.
And this is the heart of the report. This is where the real work happens. You kick it off with an introduction to set the scene. You clearly state the problem, and you explain your research methodology so that everybody knows your work is solid. Then comes the good stuff, the analysis, your findings, and, most importantly, your recommendations. This section right here is where the decision actually gets made. So, we have the why, the what, and the anatomy. Now for the most important part, the manual. How do you actually do this? It's not just about sitting down and writing. It's about following a proven, systematic process. This is your 5-step roadmap to success. It's that simple. You start by planning. You define the problem, you analyze your audience. Then you select your method, you gather your data, and you objectively form a conclusion. Now notice something really important here. Writing is the final step. You figure out the answer first, then you write. And let's just zoom in on step 1 for a second, because this is so critical. Analyzing your audience. Your primary audience might be the CEO, sure, but your immediate audience could be the manager who has to sign off on it first. You have to tailor your message to each of their specific needs to make sure your report actually gets read and, more importantly, acted upon.
This quote right here, this is the golden rule of report writing. The entire point of this whole exercise is to find the right answer.
Polished writing and a bunch of fancy charts can't save a bad conclusion. Your #1 job is to get the analysis right. The writing just serves to communicate that correct answer clearly.
All right, let's lock in the key takeaways from all this. First, a business report is your objective tool for making decisions. Second, always choose the right type of report for the job. Third, remember the 3 core parts of a formal report. And finally, stick to that 5-step process to guarantee a successful outcome every time.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether it's a small operational tweak or a massive strategic shift, a well-crafted report gives you the power to drive that change with real confidence. The next time you're facing a complex problem, just remember, you now have the blueprint for clarity. Thank you so much for watching. If you mastered this concept, show your support by liking the video and subscribing before you go.